Welcome to the second part of our course on the good distribution practices according to the EU GDP guideline. Here, we will discuss our interpretation of chapters 4 to 10, the documentation, operations, complaints, returns, suspected falsified medicinal products and medicinal products recalls, outsourced activities, transportation, self-inspections, and specific provisions for brokers. Let's get started. Preparing documentation is one of the most important and complex aspects of implementing good distribution practices, also known as GDP. Documentation prevents errors from happening, and records give evidence of relevant operations during the distribution of medicinal products. GDP is to be followed by trained personnel. As outlined in the QMS pyramid, documentation consists of a quality policy, documents that describe processes, procedures, work instructions, forms, records, and templates. Documents and records are to be retained in line with national laws and should be stored for at least 5 years. During the wholesale distributors' operations, the identity, integrity, and quality of medicinal products needs to be ensured. That means special care is needed to ensure that medicinal products are not falsified when they enter the supply chain. Suppliers must hold a wholesale distributor authorization or a manufacturing authorization that covers the medicinal product that is being distributed. They must comply with GDP principles and guidelines. Suppliers need to be qualified and approved before they procure the medicinal products on the market. The contract is necessary, and due diligence checks, often abbreviated DD, are to be done to verify the suitability of the supplier. If you are a wholesale distributor, note that you must ensure the persons, for example the hospital or pharmacy staff, you are supplying medicinal products to, are also authorized or entitled to supply medicinal products to the public. That means you need to qualify them. Ensure that the arriving consignment is correct. Verify the received products are from approved suppliers and have not been obviously visibly damaged. Prioritize receipt of products that have special storage requirements. That includes narcotics or products that are sensitive to temperature, light, or moisture. Transport them immediately to the appropriate storage facility. Regarding medicinal products that are intended for the EU and European Economic Area, check they are authorized for sale in that region. Check the batch certificate, for example. Generally speaking, medicinal products should be stored in racks and not directly on the floor. Only medicinal gases that are kept in cylinders can be stored on the floor. First expiry, first out, FEFO, is used as the guiding principle to rotate stock. If a product is near its expiry date, you should withdraw it from saleable stock. Expired products, products with quality problems, and products from recalls should be separated from regular stock while they await final destruction. The destruction policies are regulated by national and international policies. Only authorized companies are allowed to destroy medicinal products. Its documentation is recorded as evidence. Why is that? That's very simple. These medicinal products could be used as falsified products by malicious actors and re-enter the supply chain where they would eventually harm patients. There are some controls to ensure that only correct products are picked. Firstly, verify the identity and expiry date of the picked medicinal product. Secondly, there should be a delivery note stating the date, name, pharmaceutical form of the medicinal product, batch number, quantity supplied, name and address of the supplier, name and delivery address, as well as transport and storage conditions. All documentation should be maintained during the product life cycle. The export of medicinal products to third countries is also considered a wholesale distribution activity. Therefore, you need a wholesale distribution authorization or a marketing authorization. However, to export, you do not need to be covered by a marketing authorization of the European Union or one of its member states. It is crucial to ensure that any of these products reach the EU market. So let's recap the requirements for exporting. If you export a medicinal product from an EU country to another EU country, the GDP apply. If you export a medicinal product from an EU country to a country outside of the EU, the GDP also apply. If you export a medicinal product from a country outside of the EU to another country outside of the EU, the GDP does not apply. If you export a medicinal product from a country outside of the EU to an EU country, marketing authorization applies and a qualified person needs to certify the batch. Thank you for attending this course. I hope you find it useful and that you have learned what you expected. See you in other courses at Scilife Academy to continue your learning journey.